I do, y'all. We got a pretty crisp morning started on a hot day that's coming. So I'm going to try and get a tarp stretched over the ducks and chickens runs to give them a little bit of shade. And then we're going to move forward on some long-term projects too. A little bit of shoveling gravel. Yeehaw. Here we go. The farmer in.
Liddell.
The farmer in.
Liddell.
Hi-ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
Liddell.
So the idea is to use that rope to drag this tarp over the top of that wall, dividing the chickens and the ducks. That'll provide them a little bit of shade because we're going to break 100 degrees. Well, we did it yesterday, we're going to do it today, and we're going to do it the next day, and you get the idea. Trying to give them a little bit of shade. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. That rope, not exactly the kind that throws real nice and smooth, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so I got this rope untangled as best I can. And then I'm going to just tie off one end of this tarp. You know, that eyelet looks like it's close to the center. That way I don't just throw the rope all the way over the whole thing. And you can watch me fail towards success, I guess, as I have a feeling the way this is going to go. I'm going to try and throw it over. If it don't work, we'll see if we can't kind of whip it over the top of the chicken coop. We'll get this done one way or another. That's all it is. Cheese didn't like that much. We got almost all the way there. I'm going to work it over through the aviary net, and then we'll see how this goes after that. That looks something similar to success. Probably better lock this. All right, now I'm going to unfold this tarp and see if we can't drag it back over there. Wish me luck. So far, that's actually working a little better than I expected. The unfortunate part is that tarp is not as long as I thought it was. So, I guess we'll only give them a little bit of shade. But anyway, it's probably 20 feet long. That's probably good enough. Better than it was without it. So the rest of the story is them dang gray squirrels, well, gray diggers, they're a ground squirrel, are getting into the pens. They climb up this stuff and they've chewed holes through the aviary net, so I'm having to run more chicken wire and hardware cloth. Well, I'm hoping that the tarp will buy me a little bit of time on that, and then when I pull the tarp off, I can use it to drag the hardware cloth over. I really was kind of hoping these tarps were long enough, but no, I didn't measure it. I just eyeballed it and it didn't work out. But anyway, we'll get that tarp on there. I have another one that I think is the same size, and we're going to do that over the top of the duck coop because I'm pretty sure that's where the squirrels are getting in. So I might, well, I don't know. I'm going to make it up as I go along. We're going to do a combination of hardware cloth and the tarp. But for now, I won't bore you with the fact that I'm going to use little pieces of paracord or cordage of some kind to tie that through the aviary net to keep it from blowing off. But anyway, we'll put that in chug fast forward motion and we'll speed it up for you. give them a little bit of shade anyway. Okay, so I have come to realize that the gray diggers do not really like this small gravel. It once it gets wet a couple of times, it kind of sets up. It gets like a crust on it anyway, and they don't really seem to like it. So I'm putting down landscaping cloth and then the gravel instead of just the grass where I can't mow up against the high tunnel. Anyway, we got a little bit of it left. It's supposed to, man, I'm going back and forth here. It's supposed to be in the greenhouse, or high tunnel, if you will. That's the idea. And then you can see I've got the landscaping cloth in there. Just dirt right there. But anyway, the idea is it's something just to walk on. But I found that them ground squirrels don't particularly like it. Anyway, so I have put a little bit of it along the edge in the duck's pen, and that's kept the ground squirrels from digging underneath in certain areas. But I just put it there in a couple of spots where I had like a little game trail going through, and it stopped that, but they've dug other places. So I'm going to continue to put some more of that around the edge and see if we can't get that to mitigate a little bit. So more shoveling. Yeehaw! So I don't know if you can see real good, but right here is where they're digging underneath and stealing all the duck's feed. So I'm going to continue to spread this along here and see if we can't knock that game trail into a non-existent little once upon a time memory. At least another load or two. Well, I'm going to water that in, which the ducks won't really like. They don't like it when it hits the metal anyway. But then we'll move on to another trick. Ay, ay, ay. If you guys have found a good garden hose that doesn't kink and doesn't cost a crazy amount of money, I know those two don't really go together, but put it in the comments below. I'm tired of these cheap ones. So I found with this stuff, if you water it until it starts to puddle a little bit, the sand and the fines kind of create that crust. It seems to be working so far, so I'm gonna go with it. Alright guys, well it's pretty much just scoop, dump, spread, repeat. But I tell you what, it's already getting pretty warm in here. The sun just came over the top of the mountain maybe 20 minutes ago, 30, anyway. But in here, according to the digital thing that, never mind, I can't read from here. Anyhow, I'm gonna guess it's probably about 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna go in and see what Liddell's got cooking for breakfast. It's the weekend. It's the only time we really get to do a whole lot on our property. But anyway, we're having a little bit of a late breakfast. Had to get the animals took care of first. That's just how it goes. Anyway, we'll see what she's got going on in there. Alright you guys, I just noticed something's been munching on my dragonfly pepper. That's the only one that plant produced. I hope it burnt the crap out of that little freaking squirrel's mouth. If you can't tell, I have a little bit of animosity against them turds. Sheesh. So these here just come out of the oven. Yeah, baby, we're gonna have some biscuits and gravy. Well, it has been a minute since Liddell made biscuits and gravy, but I don't think those look too bad at all for handmade biscuits. And oh, that smells so good. If there was smell-o-vision, this would be so good for y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna eat them all.